the middle class is toast. The poor will always be poor, but now the middle class is going to get poorer. And that's why I talk about, who stole my pension and all this, because the pensions came in 1974 with a thing called the 401k or ERISA. 1974 was the first year Americans could also own gold legally. So as I write about in my books, I had to smuggle gold in from Vietnam because, I came back into the States in 73 and it was illegal for Americans to own gold, which I thought was really interesting. But that made me a hardcore gold bug. These are U.S. Marine Corps wings. I was flying in Vietnam when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. So when I was flying in Vietnam, I didn't know what gold was because Americans don't know. So I'm a Marine pilot. I go behind enemy lines and I'm talking to this little Vietnamese woman with red orange teeth, because they eat betel nuts. And because gold was 35 an ounce, it was now $50 an ounce the day I was talking to her behind enemy lines. Proving Marines aren't the brightest guys. So I'm trying to negotiate $50 down to $40. It went from 35 to 50, and I was trying to buy it at 40. And she gives me this little grin with those red teeth. She goes, spot, spot. I go, what the hell is spot? I'm a college graduate. What is spot? I didn't know. So ever since then, I've become a hardcore gold bug because I realized if this little woman, in Vietnam, behind enemy lines, knew what gold was, how come we don't? And that's when, you shouldn't ever talk to me about should you buy, as Warren Buffett says, never ask an insurance salesman if you need more insurance. Okay. I'm a gold bug. You need more gold. So I don't care what the stock markets are doing. Every time the price of gold goes down or silver goes down, I'm happy because I buy more. Today I have tons of gold and silver because I have gold mines and I have silver mines. Every time gold drops, and as you know, I suspect gold and silver are manipulated. JP Morgan was just nailed for manipulating the futures price of gold and silver. Just manipulated. But they're keeping the price low so the smart money can buy more of it. So Jim Rickards, is a friend of mine. He says pretty soon you're going to wish you had bought more of it because you won't be able to touch gold or silver. And so every time they manipulate the price lower, like they do the stock market and all the price higher, it's a good buying time for me. And Andy Schectman is talking about how BRICS, what's that, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Right, yeah.
They hate America. And then with the Belt and Road Project or their Silk Road Project, they're now trading in Chinese gold-backed yuan. And they're trading oil in Chinese-backed gold yuan. So it's not if, it's only when. So I'll say it again, I like gold, silver, Bitcoin, and oil because you can't print it. And if they can destroy the middle class, that's what they want. And Biden just appointed 87,000 new IRS agents, Internal Revenue agents. They're going after the small business owner. They cannot touch guys like me. I have too much money. And I have best attorneys, best accountants. But let's say the small restaurant owner or the small entrepreneur, they're going to get them. So this is what Marx said about income tax. He says, a heavy or progressive income tax is necessary for the development of communism. And America was founded as a tax-free nation. 1773, the Boston Tea Party. Just study your history.
Yeah.
So these socialists come in under the guise of being environmentalists. Who can fight against it? I don't want the environment destroyed. But they do that, and then they destroy Sri Lanka. But I'm concerned of what the communists, the Marxists, are doing to the free world. That's my concern. These are U.S. Marine Corps wings. I flew for the U.S. Somebody asked, did you fly for the Japan Marine Corps? So no, I flew for the U.S. Marine Corps. We're immigrants. I'm fourth generation Japanese American. And all my relatives fought for America in World War II against the Japanese, against the Germans, against the Italians. So fighting for freedom is part of my heritage as an American, Japanese American. And as officers, we're taught one thing: don't listen to what a person says, watch what they do. So I don't listen to what the politicians say, I watch what they do. Appointing 87,000 IRS agents speaks louder than their words. Taking the Keystone XL pipeline offline speaks louder than their words. You look at MMT, Marxist monetary theory, it's what are they doing? It's like Social Security, Medicare. They're turning us into socialists. And then we'll expect the government to take care of us. And that's how I see it. So I admit I got free college education, but I had appointments to Naval Academy, Merchant Marine Academy, and West Point. But I had to pay 6 years back. I had to serve my country for 6 years. So what are we teaching by these actions of everybody's free education, free modern Marxist monetary theory? You get paid, but you don't have to go to work anymore. What are we teaching these kids? That's Marxism at its highest form. The government will take care of you. Same as Social Security, which goes bankrupt in a few years, same as Medicare. And my concern is my generation, the boomers, you're going to have to pay for us. That's the problem. This here is Bitcoin. It's an auditor. So what it is blockchain technology audits the Fed. So the young people who are coming up today, they want blockchain because we need an auditor. You make a move, I have to audit your statement. That's what blockchain does. But if I have to audit you, who audits the Fed? Nobody. Blockchain is the auditor. We need integrity back into our financial system. So in '74, I took real estate courses. I also had to take options trading, but there's technical ups and downs. So when Bitcoin the first time hit 20,000, I watched it, and it traced back down, I think, to 1,000. And I should have bought, but I was afraid when it hit 1,000, it would go to zero. So it came back, it hit 6,000. So I knew it was picking up momentum, as a trader would say. And when it hit 6,000, I bought 60 of them. So today it's around 17,000. I'm still in the money. So the lesson is, your profit's made when you buy, not when you sell. So I'll ask you again, if Neiman Marcus had a sale on Gucci and Prada and all that stuff, you would have said, no, it's too cheap. I want it to go higher. Well, that's what people do. Oh, I want gold to go higher, then I'll buy some more. Are you nuts? So if Bitcoin, Bitcoin's, if it goes down to 1,000, I'm backing up the truck. So your profit's made when you buy, not when you sell. And that's why all these gold people are saying, well, the price of gold hasn't gone up. I said, well, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do you know, I remember in 2000, gold was 300 an ounce. You're gonna wait for it to go to 3,000 or 30,000 an ounce before you buy? But that's what stupid people do. They buy at the top of a market. They all jump in like idiots. I'm waiting for the next crash. The same as real estate. Real estate's crashing right now. I get very excited about it. Oh boy, everything's going on sale. And that's how I think. I don't want to pay retail, I want to pay wholesale. Common capitalism. In 1964, I held up a dime, and the dime was copper. It was this copper tinge. I said, what happened to the silver? That's called debasement of currency. So I was 17 years old in 1964, and ever since then, I don't trust my government. I don't trust our money. You cannot print silver. You cannot print gold. God created it. I'm not really religious, but I'm saying it's God's creation. And I only buy gold and silver for one reason, because if a push comes to a shove, I can spend it. I can spend it anywhere in the world. And that's what that tiny little Vietnamese woman taught me in 1972 in Vietnam. I was trying to negotiate the price of gold down from 50 to 40. And she goes, spot. I didn't know what spot was. I'm a college graduate. How come I don't know this? And then I bought one in Hong Kong. Then I had to smuggle it in because it was illegal for Americans to own gold. How did that happen? You know what I mean? So I just got curious, and I don't trust the school system. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do.